Hey there, this is Al, your doo-wopper. All right, we are here tonight, and we're gonna do part three of Little Richard. Oh my goodness, Little Richard. He's a character that that it taken. He got a history that's gonna take. It took quite a bit of explanations, and boy, this guy had so many personalities. It's unbelievable. So we're going to go back a little bit on part two. When he was really having decided to change his life and repent, and so during that time when he repented, he gave his life back over to the Lord, which that was great. But during that time when he was having that problem, with his gaze and his drag and all of this stuff, it was really a hard time. And this guy was, he couldn't have been a happy camper because he had a hard life. He had one hard life. Because one thing about it, he didn't know whether he wanted to be a Christian. He didn't know whether he wanted to be an evangelist. He didn't want to be a preacher. He wanted to be a gay. He wanted to be a drag queen. Hey, I don't know what he wanted to be. But anyway, we're going to talk about that. So, right now, Little Richard, we're during a time when he had that plane problem. And he was flying he was flying from Sydney back to the States. And anyway, he looked over and the plane was having some problems, and he came to a point where, again, that he really wanted to give himself back over to the Lord, because he came down safely, and that's the time that was his first time that he wanted to convert. And he wanted to change his life back over to gospel. So when he got back to the States, and his original flight, the one he was due to fly back in, it went down. It went down and the Pacific crashed. So that really got him to a point where he said, I got to turn my life around. And he did. He turned his life around. And he went and he gave his final performance. It was at the Apollo. He went and he told all his fans and all that he has been right now has been changed. He's been saved his whole life, and he's gonna turn his whole life around into the Lord, and he's gonna be doing some preaching. And so this will be his last performance, was at the Apollo. So this is where he started changing his life. So he left and he went to college, and he went to Oakwood College at Huntsville, Alabama, for theology. That's why I said my second, let's see, I think it was my first part, where he was dropped out of school at the 10th grade. I said to myself, I don't think so. I think that was somehow a misprint, because this man he was like a music genius, and he went back to college for theology, and so I don't think that sounds like a dropout. That's my opinion, that is. So when he went back to theology, he went all over preaching and all of this, and he started his life all over again, and all of this good stuff that he was doing. And but anyway, he had a little problem again. He was, I don't know, he was with this guy called Don Arling. Don Arlen persuaded Richard to go on a tour. And so Richard thought, say, okay, we go to tour. So the tour was, anyway, the opening night is he's supposed to be opening for Sam Cooke. So we got ready to open up for Sam Cooke. Sam was late. He didn't come at opening night. So Richard got up and he started singing all his gospel songs and everything at the tour. Oh my, here it go. Bam! Otis had a fit. He booed him and everything else because he thought he was going to come with his rock and roll, but no, he came with his gospel. So, no way. He had a big hard time. So what happened is that when he, that night, he had booed out and everything. He come back, he was a sick character. He was sick. He was just really aggravated how they treated him. So what happened is that next night, Sam Cooke came. Sam Cooke put on a show. I'm telling you. That man got up and sung, "You Send Me." Darling, you send me. Honest you do, honest you do. Oh, the crowd just had they just went crazy. And then change is going to come. And all of this, and it really had Sam had the crowd in the palm of his hand. Oh boy, now here we go again. Richard could not handle that. No way. Richard got a little upset over his head. No. And then that's when that thing hit him again. This thing come in, hit him, the competition hit him now. No way he's on Sam Cooke and right there getting all of these glories. And I got booed the night before. No. Here we do again. All right. He dropped his religion again. Now he went back to rock and roll. Long Tall Sally. Bop, bop-a-loo, wop, a bam, bam, boo. Tutti frutti, Rudy, Rudy. Tutti frutti, tutti frutti. Oh my goodness, now he had the crowd again. Oh man, and our friends again. This is the second time he changed over and decided that he wanted to go to the rock and roll, and then he swung back around and he went to this gospel. And so he always had a problem. He had, because of one simple thing, he didn't know where he was. He was singing gospel, and he praying, and he teaching, he's preaching, and then all of a sudden he wants to get back into the rock and roll. And so he got back into the rock and roll again. And believe me, he really went places on that. He really went up on this rock and roll. So he traveled all over from England, France. He was all over the world, and it was really fanatic. I mean, they loved him, and so this is what he really wanted. Oh, but here, well, you know how it is. He goes back again. He's back. He repent again, and went back into the preaching. Okay, and he started preaching this time. He done the same identical thing. He told his fans that he's repented. He's not going to do it again. So here you go again. He went back into the preaching and carried the word. But again, I don't know whether it was the money. I don't know what it was. But he was, within a short time, he was back to the rock and roll again. He wasn't a happy camper. He couldn't have been, because all what he went through, he couldn't have been a happy camper. But anyway, Richard got sick. He got sick, and he stopped. He had to stop because he'd been through a lot of drugs, alcohol, all of these. He went through a lot. So he died of bone cancer. And so when he died of bone cancer, they came with saying one thing. He said, it's right funny. He said, the king and the queen of rock and roll. Because of one simple thing. He played the role of a drag, gay, and straight. Three he was. So he was not a happy camper. But anyway, Little Richard was the kind of music he had. It didn't make sense or anything to me. That's my personal. It didn't make sense to me. All of this, Jenny, 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 wop, wop-a-doo, wop-a-bam, boom, boo, all of this stuff, but the people went crazy over it and they loved it. But me personally, I'm a doo-wopper, but I got to know him, and so I wanted to tell you all as much as I could about him. So you have a great night, and subscribe, and I'm going to keep right on talking. Have a good night. It's